The morning of the interview finally came. David was so excited. He had laid out his suit the night before. Navy blue suit, crisp white shirt, red power tie. He had polished his shoes until they shined. He had gotten a fresh haircut the day before. He woke up extra early that morning. I could hear him in the bathroom, getting ready. Shower running, electric razor buzzing, cologne. When he came out of the bathroom, he looked good. I'll give him that. He looked like a man who was about to get everything he wanted. He stood in front of the bedroom mirror, adjusting his tie, practicing his smile, the smile he was going to give the immigration officer. "How do I look?" he asked, turning to me. I was sitting on the bed, already dressed in a simple navy dress, professional but not too formal. "You look handsome," I said. And I meant it. He did. "Ready to make us official, baby?" he asked, reaching for my hand. "After today, no more waiting. I'll have my green card, I can work, we can really start our family." I looked at him. This man who had lied to me for 3 years. This man who called me the maga to his real wife. This man who saw me as nothing more than a ladder to climb. And I smiled. "I'm ready," I said. We drove to the USCIS office downtown, the Firewall building where they conduct all the interviews. David was nervous, I could tell. He kept bouncing his leg in the passenger seat. His hands were fidgeting. "You okay?" I asked. Yeah, just nervous. You know, this is a big day. Everything we've worked for. Everything I've worked for, I thought, but I didn't say it out loud. "It's going to be fine," I told him. "Just answer all the questions honestly, be yourself. They can tell when people are nervous, so just relax." Answer honestly. I actually said that. We parked in the garage, we walked into the building, went through security, took the elevator to the 4th floor. The waiting room was exactly what you'd expect. Government office, fluorescent lights, rows of plastic chairs, other couples sitting there, all looking nervous, all waiting for their interviews. Some of them were holding hands, some were whispering to each other, probably going over their answers one more time. Everyone had the same look of anticipation and fear. David and I sat down. He reached for my hand and held it tight. His palm was sweaty. We waited. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. "This is taking forever," David whispered. "Why is it taking so long?" "They're probably backed up," I said calmly. "Just be patient." He kept bouncing his leg, looking around, checking his watch. He wanted this so badly, so badly. And then, finally, they called his name. "David Adeyemi?" David jumped up like he'd been electrocuted, straightened his jacket, took a deep breath. I stood up with him, grabbed my purse. "This is it," he whispered, squeezing my hand one more time. "Thank you, Jennifer, for everything. I mean it. Thank you for believing in me." I squeezed his hand back. "You're welcome." We walked toward the front. Usually what happens is an officer comes out, introduces themselves, and escorts the couple into a private interview room. They ask questions, they review documents, and if everything checks out, they approve the green card right there. That's what David was expecting. That's what everyone in that waiting room was expecting. But that's not what happened. When we reached the front desk, the officer didn't come out to greet us. 2 ICE officers walked out instead. ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. They were in full uniform, badges, guns on their belts, serious, stern faces. The entire waiting room went silent. Everyone stopped talking. Every head turned to look. "David Adeyemi?" one of the officers said. It wasn't a question. It was a statement. "Yes?" David's voice cracked. I felt his hand tighten around mine. "Can we see your identification, please?" David's hands were shaking. He let go of my hand and reached into his jacket pocket for his passport. He fumbled with it, almost dropped it, finally managed to hand it over. The officer looked at the passport, looked at a paper on his clipboard, looked back at David. "Mr. Adeyemi, your visa petition has been withdrawn by your sponsor." He said it loud enough for half the waiting room to hear. "Your visa has expired. You are currently in the United States illegally." I watched David's face. It was like watching someone get hit by a truck in slow motion. Confusion first. His eyebrows came together. His mouth opened slightly. He turned to look at me. Jennifer? His voice was so small, like a child. What is going on? Then fear. His eyes went wide. The color started draining from his face. Jennifer, what did you do? Jennifer, tell them. Tell them this is a mistake. The officers stepped closer to him, one on each side. Sir, we need you to come with us. No, wait. He was backing up now, looking at me desperately. Jennifer, please, tell them. Tell them the marriage is real. Tell them. Every couple in that waiting room was staring at us. Some people had their phones out. This was going to be the story they told their families later. You'll never believe what we saw at our interview. I stood up straight, smoothed down my dress, adjusted my purse on my shoulder, and I looked David dead in the eye. My voice was calm, clear, loud enough for him to hear, but not loud enough to be dramatic. I am not a ladder, David. He froze. His face went white, because he knew. In that moment, he knew that I had heard everything. And this MAGA, I paused, let him really feel it, has closed the bank. I turned toward the exit. Behind me, I could hear him calling my name, shouting it. Jennifer! Jennifer! Please! Jennifer, don't do this! I could hear the officers telling him to calm down. I could hear the handcuffs clicking. I could hear other people in the waiting room gasping, whispering. But I didn't look back. I walked down that hallway, through the glass doors, into the elevator, down to the parking garage. I got in my car, started the engine, and drove away. And for the first time in 3 years, I felt free. David is currently sitting in an immigration detention center awaiting deportation. I haven't seen him since that day. I haven't spoken to him. I blocked his number the moment I got home. But his family, his family has been very vocal. My phone started blowing up that same afternoon. Calls from numbers I didn't recognize, all Nigerian area codes. Text messages, WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, Instagram DMs, his mother, his brothers, his sisters, his cousins, aunties, uncles, people I'd never even met. All of them cursing me out. You are a wicked woman. How can you do this to my son? You will never find happiness. God will punish you. You are a witch, a demon. You have destroyed our family. They sent me Bible verses about forgiveness, about how God commands us to forgive 70 times 7, about how vengeance belongs to the Lord. One message said, "You think you've won? You will pay for this. What goes around comes around." Another said, "My brother made a mistake, but you are worse than him. At least he was trying to help his family. You are just wicked." Help his family? By destroying mine? By using me? By lying to me every single day for 3 years? But the one that really got me was from his real wife. She sent me a DM on Instagram, a long message with crying emojis, begging. "Please, sister," she wrote, "I know you're hurt. I know you're angry, but please don't do this to us. David made a mistake, but he's a good father. He's a good husband. Our children need him. Junior is only 5 years old. He needs his daddy. Please reconsider. Withdraw the report. Let him come home to us. You can divorce him, that's fine, but please don't send him to detention. Please don't ruin his life. Think about our children." Think about her children? What about thinking about me? She knew. The whole time, she knew what he was doing. She was part of the plan. They were in it together. And now she's begging me to save him? To save the man who called me the MAGA? Who called me just the ladder? I didn't respond to her message. I didn't respond to any of them. I blocked her. I blocked all of them. They can send all the Bible verses they want. They can call me wicked. They can call me a demon. They can pray for my downfall. I don't care. People keep asking me if I feel guilty, if I regret it, if I lie awake at night thinking about what I did, and the answer is no. I sleep fine. Better than fine, actually. Better than I've slept in 3 years. Because I'm not carrying his lies anymore. I'm not carrying the weight of this fake marriage. I'm not waiting for the other shoe to drop. Maybe that makes me cold. Maybe that makes me heartless. Maybe I am the demon they say I am. But you know what? I worked too hard for my peace to let a squatter live in it. I gave that man 3 years of my life. I gave him $15,000. I gave him my time, my energy, my love, my home, my trust. I worked double shifts, standing on my feet for 12 hours until my back hurt and my feet swelled. I ate ramen noodles for months. I sacrificed everything. And he was planning to throw me away like trash the moment he got what he wanted. 6 months. He was going to give it 6 months after getting his green card, then divorce me and bring over his real family. So no, I don't feel guilty. He got exactly what he deserved. Now I'm sitting in my quiet house. It's just me again. But this time it feels different than it did 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was lonely. I felt like something was missing, like my life was incomplete without a partner. But now, I'm not lonely. I'm at peace. There's a difference. Last night, I poured myself a glass of red wine. I put on some music, neo-soul, my favorite, and I danced in my living room, by myself, in my pajamas, just me, the music, and my freedom. And it felt amazing. I'm not saying I don't want love. I'm not saying I'm giving up on marriage or family or any of that, but I've learned something through all of this. Being alone is better than being with someone who sees you as a transaction. Being single is better than being used. An empty house is better than a house full of lies. I look around my living room now and I don't see emptiness anymore. I see peace. I see space that's mine. I see a home that I built with my own hard work, and nobody can take that from me. I still work those double shifts. My feet still swell. My back still hurts. But now when I come home, I'm coming home to myself, to honesty, to truth, not to someone who's counting down the days until he can discard me. I've had some people reach out to support me, my real friends, the ones who knew something was off about David, but didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to hurt me. They've told me they're proud of me, that I did what needed to be done, that I protected myself. My coworker at the hospital, Maria, she hugged me and said, "Girl, you are a queen. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for refusing to be used." My friend Keisha said, "That man played a stupid game and won a stupid prize." Even my mother, when I finally told her the whole story, she said, "You did the right thing. A man who lies like that doesn't deserve your mercy." And my pastor, the one who initially seemed disappointed in me, he called me into his office last week, and he said something I didn't expect. He said, "Jennifer, grace and wisdom are not the same thing. God calls us to forgive, yes, but he also calls us to be wise, to not be deceived, to protect what he's given us. You were wise, and there's no sin in that." I'm healing, slowly. I'm learning to trust my judgment again. I'm learning that my loneliness made me vulnerable, and that's okay. It doesn't make me stupid, it makes me human. But I'm also learning that I'm stronger than I thought, that I can handle hard things, that I don't need someone to complete me. I'm already complete. So here's my question for all of you watching this. Did I go too far? Should I have just divorced him quietly and let him stay in the country? Should I have confronted him first, given him a chance to explain? Should I have been more forgiving, more understanding? Or did he get exactly what he ordered? Want you to really think about it.
Would you let someone steal 3 years of your life? Would you let someone use you as a stepping stone and then discard you like garbage? Would you let someone mock you to their real family while pretending to love you to your face? This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a moment of weakness. This wasn't he got caught up in something and made a bad decision. No. This was calculated. This was planned. This was a long-term con that started the day he met me at that Christmas party. He looked me in the eye every single day for 3 years and lied. He cooked for me, cleaned for me, rubbed my feet, called me his angel, his queen, his blessing. And the whole time he was planning how he was going to use me and throw me away. So I used the only weapon I had, the truth. I told the truth to the immigration officers. That's all I did. I told them the marriage was fraudulent on his side, that he had concealed his real family from me, that he had used me to enter the country illegally. I didn't lie about him. I didn't make anything up. I just stopped covering for him. Some people are saying I should have been more forgiving, more Christian, that love covers a multitude of sins, that I should have turned the other cheek. But here's what I want those people to understand. Forgiveness doesn't mean letting someone continue to abuse you. Forgiveness doesn't mean being a doormat. Forgiveness doesn't mean financing your own destruction. I can forgive David for what he did. I can release the anger and the hurt and let God deal with him. But that doesn't mean I have to keep sponsoring his visa. That doesn't mean I have to lie to immigration officers to protect him. That doesn't mean I have to sacrifice my peace for his comfort. Never let anyone make you feel like protecting yourself is wrong. Never let anyone convince you that you owe your abuser your silence. Never let anyone tell you that standing up for yourself makes you the villain. David made his choices, and now he's living with the consequences of those choices. That's not my fault. That's not my sin. That's his. My name is Jennifer. I'm 32 years old. I'm a registered nurse in Houston, Texas, and I deported my husband. Not because I'm wicked, not because I'm a demon, not because I'm heartless, but because I finally loved myself enough to refuse to be used. So, tell me in the comments, was I wrong? Or did I do what needed to be done? I'll be reading every single one of your comments. I want to hear what you think, because this conversation, it's bigger than just my story. It's about boundaries. It's about self-respect. It's about knowing when to walk away. It's about protecting your peace at all costs. So drop a comment below. Was I justified? Or did I cross a line? And if you've ever been in a situation where someone used you, where someone lied to you, where someone saw you as nothing more than a means to an end, I see you. I understand you. And I want you to know that you're not wrong for protecting yourself. You're not wicked for refusing to be someone's ladder. You're wise. You're strong, and you deserve better. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. And remember, never let anyone make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. This MAGA has closed the bank.
For more videos, please subscribe, like, and comment.